All right, this looks like an interesting video topic. It seems like from the thumbnail, it says what does nerd even mean anymore, but I'm assuming from the thumbnail it means like what he's saying is basically like everyone wants to be a nerd now. So it's like it's cool to be a nerd at this point. Anyways, let's watch the video.
Folks, welcome back to another episode of Since When Did Being a Nerd Become a Positive Thing? Yes, as
Yeah.
I have mentioned before, we are in an odd era in the grand arc of the history of the internet. One where intentions and authenticity are the currency that animates the brain rot youth. Are you being performative? Are you actually weird and niche? Or
Performative final but oh holy shit. Bro's just got his laptop out. He's all dressed up. He's got his laptop out at a coffee place, reading a book and drinking matcha
animates the brain rot youth?
while having the headphones on. Like, what is he listening to while he's reading a book? And why is his laptop open? And why does he have two matchas? And why is he sitting at the... It's the most, like... He's definitely has to be, like... trying to find a woman or something, or recording a YouTube video, and this is his B-roll, is him doing this.
Are you being performative? Are you actually weird and niche, or are you forcing it? Do you really like doing those backflips, Benson Boone? Or are you a deep state agent sent by the Mormon Church? These are the pressing questions of our time, and it has come to my attention that in recent weeks, the discourse has once again evolved thanks to another TikTok trend. It's the nerd out trend.
Bro, I can't drop frames because my stream literally doesn't work like that anymore. But I went from 5,000 kilobytes per second to like 800 to 0, back to 800. Now it's at 1,600. Okay, it's coming back up. Okay, thank God.
Which started out on TikTok
Nerd
as an
out.
audio
Okay.
clip from a video by this
Lock in,
show,
chat.
who describes himself as a fireside chat of the 21st century.
All right.
You need to nerd out. We are losing one of the most important human things, I believe, that society has given birth to over time. And that is the ability to be an expert, to be a savant, to be a nerd about a topic. Sadly, we don't learn from each other anymore. And some of my favorite people growing up, they were nerds. They were people who were obsessed about a certain thing, whether that was Go-Go's, Beyblades, Pokemon cards.
Which makes sense to me. You know, people should nerd out.
Go-Go's? Wait. I think I remember those. Holy shit. Is this what I think it is? Oh, it is. This is exactly what I remember. The Go-Go's. I remember seeing these fucking things at Target growing up. Holy shit. Bro brought back a fucking memory for me. Holy.
Have super specific passions, specific interests, or pieces of media that you're into. I support all of that, as long as it's not the Star Wars sequels, because I'm still not over that.
They fly now? They fly
But
now!
here's the problem, and the entirely predictable problem, which is that as this trend started to take off and people started posting their nerdy interests, the punches really started to fly. People saying, oh, you think that's nerdy? That's...
Bro. Modern Family. Dance Moms. Victorious. Shameless. Hannah Montana. Those are not nerd things. You think Spotify is a nerd thing? And Despicable Me... What is that? Ariana Grande at the bottom? Wait.
interests. The punches really started to fly. People saying,
Oh my God.
oh, you think that's nerdy? That's not nerdy. Oh, that's not even niche. I'm the only real nerd here. And obviously, I think those people are dumb.
Listen to me when I say this. There is no such thing as being not nerdy enough or not niche enough. I'm sure you've already heard of the you need to nerd out trend, where people post a picture of themselves and then you swipe and it's all the stuff they're interested in. I love this trend. I love listening and watching people and learning about what they're interested in, what they're
Bro,
nerdy
should
about.
I do this? I feel like there would be so many things on there, though. Like, I could just start listing off things. Alright? The MCU. Star Wars. Pokemon. Like, so many different fucking animes. The Walking Dead. Shameless. Stranger Things. The Bear. Outer Banks. That's 9 things that I'm already listing off. In terms of video games. Hollow Knight. Marvel Rivals. Call of Duty. That's 12 things that I've already listed off. I kind of want to do this, where I just, like, put all the things I'm interested in a TikTok. Let me know if I should do that.
Oh, it's awesome. I love this trend. But obviously people had to come and ruin it and say people aren't nerdy enough or that's not nerdy with whatever they're interested in. Nerdy doesn't equal niche.
Listen to me, if you are on the internet accusing people of nerd stolen valor, you need to log off. I get it, okay? You are strictly into French new wave cinema.
Okay, I guess I need to log off, because I did that at the beginning of the fucking video. I did it at the beginning of the video. I was like, Ariana Grande is not nerd, bro.
And collecting coins from former Soviet republics. Nobody cares. Nobody's gonna give you extra brownie points over the person who's posting about how much they love Fortnite and Marvel movies.
Okay, see, I'm doing it again, but... Okay, some of these are valid. Some of these are valid. But I feel like it's also, like, the female version. Obviously, she's a female. But the female version of being a nerd. Because, like, having Twilight and Teen Wolf and stuff like that. Littlest Pet Shop, yeah. Bluey. This is, like, the female version of being a nerd.
Like, let me read you this comment. It's the fact that some of the people doing the trend would have actually bullied others back then for showing their niche interests and how nerding out becomes a trend. That's why I don't like this trend, because people used to be shamed for some of their interests, but now it's okay when they say so. Okay, so because you were bullied in elementary school for liking Naruto or whatever, now you want to bully people back for liking Pokemon or Avatar or whatever? You gotta pack it up, bro.
No, this is kind of what my coworker says, though. Like, she hates the fact that anime is popular now. Because her and people that she knew in school would get made fun of or be called the weird kids for liking anime. But now it's cool to like anime. That's the thing. Like, the culture completely flipped. And my younger brother and my older brother still think that it's weird to like anime. And I'm like, dude, you know, like that's such an old stereotype at this point. Like, they still make fun of me for watching Naruto or some shit like that. And I'm just like, bro, you know that's an old stereotype at this point, right? Like, I know my older brother's friend watches Dragon Ball. So, like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm a weirdo for watching One Piece or Naruto. They're, like, the most popular animes besides Dragon Ball as well.
I get it, okay, bro? I was not
So
popular
what are
in
you
school
yapping
either,
about?
Okay? I didn't have a prom date. I felt what you felt. Random, nameless and faceless TikToker. But you gotta move on, man, okay? You gotta move on. You can't keep up this resentment forever. It's a good thing that people are more,
Holy shit. I'm interested in this final boss. Bro is interested in everything that has to do with the female gender.
open to a diverse range of interests now. You should be celebrating that. Not going, oh, well, nobody was nice to me, so I'm not gonna be nice to anybody. You sound like a Cartoon Network villain, okay? Grow up. And again, those who have hopped on this trend have shown all sorts of different interests, both niche and mainstream. And again, even going...
Isn't K-pop Demon Hunters, isn't that literally one movie? Are people saying that's like a niche? Like that's that's an interest? One movie? I don't get it.
back to our man Zerky's audio, The point was never about how underground your interests are. It's just about having passion about things in general. I mean, the examples he gives in his original video are like very mainstream things.
Whether that was Go-Go's, Beyblades, Pokemon cards, I don't care what it is.
I mean, I feel like Go-Go's wasn't, though. Like, how many of you actually had these in your home growing up? How many of you actually owned Go-Go's, bro? I thought I was like one of the only people that knew what the fuck these things were. I had that one, that one, that one, that one. I could point out a bunch of them in screenshots that I actually owned. What the fuck are those? Those are not... Are those Go-Go? No, those are Swedish Go-Go's? That's crazy. Like from the original run, I could point out a bunch of them that I actually owned. Back in the day, I probably could have told you what their names were. Bro, my stream is about to go down. I need to finish this.
That gives you a spark, that makes you feel good, if that is watching a new season of Invincible.
Bro, I don't know what's happening. Why is my internet being so shit right now?
People are nonchalant. People want to act like they are just with the times, man. Whatever is cool is cool.
Yeah, he's more making a response to Gen Z acting nonchalant, as the kids would say. Just not really caring about things.
At least if I record the video, like I am right now, as it's going, instead of downloading the VOD and editing it later, I get better quality. Because if I were to edit this VOD, the stream and the video would end up looking like shit.
In general,
because
it's uncool,
the stream is it's lagging bad as fuck right now.
Social media and phones are more addictive. I don't know. Either way, I'm rocking with the nerd out crowd over the citizens of Frowntown any day of the week. I'm not yucking anybody's yum. Matter of fact, I'm yumming on some of the yums that are being thrown around with this trend. As a matter of fact, in order to establish my own nerd credibility for the balance of this video, let me remind you who has the—
Okay, but how many people are interested in these Ninja Turtles? These were the peak Ninja Turtles, bro. Best Ninja Turtles version. I keep seeing people like interested in like the new Ninja Turtles. Where are they? Like this and I saw it. I just saw it. Where was it? The other one that's like really highly CGI this. I'm just like, nah, those suck. Go back to this art style. The cool, edgy 2000s art style, bro. That made them look like they were evil. Nah, look. They look so peak. I'm sorry. I'll go back.
The greatest tattoo to ever grace human skin. Yeah, I'm puffle-maxing over here. And if anybody wants to work in Card-Jitsu, just know I'm in the Club Penguin Dojo any time of day. And I'm also rocking the Fast and the Furious shirt today for y'all, because there's only one thing that matters to me more than Club Penguin.
I knew it. I knew exactly what he was gonna say.
And I know for a fact that people weren't really looking for real nerds anyway, because anytime you did get a real nerd, people were so mean to them. They got absolutely excoriated in the comment section. Like this girl who was just showing off all her, I don't even know, just being quirky, I guess. I don't really know. And the entire comment section was like, this is such a hard watch. Bro, do you want people to nerd out or not? Okay, I'm very confused by what the parameters are here. You need to nerd out. No, not like that. I digress, though. The rabbit hole goes much deeper. So strap in with
You need to nerd out, but not too much, though, because that's you're doing too much here.
That was the tip of the nerd iceberg that broke off
the Nerdberg.
Because if
the Nerdberg, bro.
You've heard of all this nerding out before. You've probably seen these screenshots of other TikTokers.
Yeah, I've seen this. You need to nerd out. Likes the most popular things. Bro. What? Chipotle? You need to nerd out. I love Labubu's and Taylor Swift and Roblox. Okay, Outer Banks is kind of valid, but
engaging in the trend.
I love Outer Banks.
With interests such as Lululemon, Love Island, Taco Bell, Labubus, Stanley Cups, and apparently
AirPods.
Now, I'll be the first to say, okay? Buying things from a corporation, not inherently nerdy. I mean, I like Taco Bell. You know, my GI tract sure doesn't, but I do. Is liking Taco Bell a nerdy thing? Is liking Taco Bell a hobby? No, I would say liking Taco Bell is frankly a cry for help, but I don't want help. I want that new Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Wait, it's so good though. It's actually so good. The new Baja Midnight is so good, bro.
Midnight, 420 calories for a large. And
Really? I did not know how much large sodas, like, from restaurants actually had calories. Like, how much calories they actually had in them.
I mean, Stanley Cups, Labubus. These are unfortunately the poster childs of overconsumption final boss. And all these things taken together is what makes me almost 100% certain that these posts are rage bait. I literally could not find the original TikToks these came from. Every other YouTuber I've seen talk about this topic also is just using these same 2 screenshots that came from Twitter. So these probably got deleted on TikTok. I'm almost certain anyone taking these seriously is getting taken for a ride. But even if they're being serious, I get it. I know. But let me cook for a second. Again, the original video that the sound comes from, which got 2 million likes and a bajillion views on TikTok, was all about deriving meaning from your interests rather than blindly following the crowd. Something that clearly connected with million a Zoomer. So like, yeah, in the sense that you or I understand what a nerd is, none of this shit is particularly nerdy. But given that these 2 infamous posts, as well as another that I'm gonna get to, are coming from girls who like look like they're in middle school or high school, I think they might just be using a different definition of nerd than we're used to. Like, I think they're just understanding nerd out to mean how it meant from this Zerky guy, which is like to just be really passionate about something. Which in that case, yeah, you can be really passionate about your dog. Yes, it's true.
Oh shit, I forgot I need to get my laundry. Oh no, hopefully nobody's gonna get mad at me.
Labubus. Like, yeah, I think my Labubu hating bona fides are well established at this point. But to say that there aren't people who are deeply into this is simply untrue. I've covered some real Labubu maxers on this channel before. I personally don't like their interest. I think their interest is somewhat shallow, but whatever. Especially if the shallow interest haver in question is like in middle school. You know, I think you get a free pass on having shallow interests in the 7th grade. And again, I'm almost certain all of this is rage bait. But even if it's not, I can rationalize it anyway. You get what I'm saying? If you just have a different understanding of what nerd means to these people, which is possible, I think. Again, I think the whole like nerd jock distinctions wasn't really a thing when I was in school. So I'm assuming they're like really gone now. Maybe you have a different experience though. So let me know. I'm just open.
I mean, when I was in school, there was that kid that was way too into anime and like did the Naruto run down the fucking hallway. Like, I feel like everyone had at least one kid like that. There was the kid that did the Naruto run down the hallway and smelled like shit every day and was like extremely overweight and probably had a Discord kitten and was probably a Reddit mod. But I feel like everyone had at least one at their school, right?
The idea that language continues to change. I mean, I just said the word Labubu maxer, and all of you immediately knew what I meant. 3 years ago, if I said Labubu maxing, you would have had a stroke. So maybe the definition of nerd is just going to be different for this next generation. Maybe what we would traditionally consider a nerd is going to be like niche or something. I'm not a nerd, I'm niche. Oh, you're into Love Island? Sorry, I'm a non-performative niche maxer. I'm not about that. And I'll give you that 3rd example I mentioned. Here's another nerd out post featuring again such interest.
Is that just a frosted sugar cookie? What does that mean? You just look like you... No, not look like. I didn't mean to say that. You just like frosted sugar cookies and Dr. Pepper? This doesn't tell me anything about this person. They go to Target so they can buy their Alani. And then they go to Taco Bell afterwards and get a Dr. Pepper. And then while they're waiting for their order, they scroll on TikTok. and then they go home, play Roblox while they're listening to, who the fuck is that? Tyler, the Creator? While eating frosted sugar cookies. Then they read, and then they go, what is that? Tanning? Oh, it is tanning. That's the only thing I can't fit into this story somewhere.
It says
somewhere.
Taco Bell, Crumble Cookies, Target, and Taylor
Oh, it's crumble cookies. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Swift. And again, this post has gotten a lot of people riled up, a lot of people screaming at the top of their lungs that these are not nerdy interests.
Need to nerd.
What are we doing here? How is this being a nerd?
First of all, dog, you gotta shave that beaver off of your upper lip. It's impossible to take it seriously. And second, this original post is from a fan page of Embry Cortland. I think that's how you pronounce it. But
It's a fan page of a random girl?
she's
Okay.
a 15-year-old influencer, and this was a fan page post. So presumably, the person who made this post, who is a fan of a 15-year-old, so probably like a 10-year-old who's hopping on a trending sound and posting all the things that she associates her favorite influencer with, which makes sense because these are all very common influencer slash 15-year-old teenager from the suburbs interests. Does that mean I'm defending having Target be one of your main interests as a person? No, but again, that's not what happened here. And it feels, disingenuous to point out that it's not like
I
there's
love
this girl
Target. That's where I buy my Alani's from.
who's saying like Target is her personality. That didn't happen.
Every single time I hear
No,
that
that's the
audio-
funny thing, though. Is when I brought that up, that's an actual thing. You go to Target to buy Alani's. That's where they're sold at.
You need to nerd out. I can't help but laugh. That shit is so fucking corny that it's like actually funny as fuck. And that whole you need to nerd out slideshow trend where people are showing off their quote unquote nerdy interests is some of the fucking worst shit I've ever seen, bro. Tell me why the fuck I just saw one of those you need to nerd out slideshows and it was a lady with the most basic interests known to fucking man. This bitch deadass put like fucking Target, Crumble Cookie, Labubu dolls, and Love Island in her.
Again, bro, like, just relax. Calm down. It's gonna be okay, King. Those are not nerdy interests. I decide what nerdy interests are. You stupid bitch. Unacceptable! That is literally what 90% of the people who are mad about the stuff sound like to me. And it's YouTubers too. Again, I've seen it. Just making entire videos on these like 3 overconsumption TikTok posts. Even though one is a fan post, again, and the other 2 are either rage bait or again just dumb teenagers being dumb. And side note, all of these self-appointed overconsumption investigators screaming into a microphone about how Gen Z's entire personality is being a billboard for soulless corporations, as if all their favorite isn't also owned by soulless corporations. That's the thing about me, guys. Listen, I'm consistent, okay? I'm not a hypocrite because everybody else proudly decries their hatred for Labubus while sitting in front of like a wall of Funko Pops because, oh yeah, at least my interests come from a show, or like at least my action figures are based on a book. It's different. There's no underlying media property that goes with the Labubu hype. As if the planet or the landfill sees the difference between the petroleum that went into your Funko Pop versus the petroleum that went into your Labubu. There's no difference. Stop gaslighting yourself. And again, ultimately, I don't care. You have one life. Buy whatever you want. People get mad at me for saying that, but I truly don't care. Like, I'm
Now, the only Labubu product that I want this. Nah, these look so cool though. Why can't I? There we go. They're like Labubu, stylized One Piece character figurine things. I don't even think they're bobbleheads. They're just like figurines that look like Labubu styled. I don't know. They look cool. That's all.
I'm not gonna sit here and judge you. As long as you're buying something because you actually want
Labubu.
it and not to impress other people, or buying 800 of it for some reason. But this trend,
No, I saw one of my neighbors unironically have a Labubu on their keys, and I was like, how much did you spend on that, bro? I didn't say this. I just saw and was judging from a distance. How much did you pay for this? And do you never get your hands dirty to where that thing is not gonna be like gray by the time you take it off your keys?
Or discourse has just been completely blown out of proportion by people who
Now, if I did that, it would, like I said, it would literally be gray because I work with my hands.
are obsessed with this narrative.
It would
Gen
be
Z is just
go
like
from
a
pink to gray, bro.
risk of consumption and nothing else. And I have made criticisms of consumerism many times, and I will continue to do so, but I am slightly disillusioned by creators who very clearly don't actually care about the consumerism or don't have a problem with society's obsession with consumption. They just want to dictate which kinds of consumption are fine, which kinds of consumption is acceptable in their view. It's just dunking on quote normies dressed up in like
Hold on, let me
vaguely
check something.
anti-capitalist sentiment. And
I'm
not
still
naming
listening.
names, okay, I'm not. Okay, I'll name a couple names. And again, dude, this is not a call out. I don't dislike any of these people. I've never met them in my life. I'm just
There's still 10
specifically
minutes for this
critiquing
video to
the
upload,
approach
bruh.
to this topic. That's it.
Oh, but Haley, you're not understanding it. They're nerding out over the things that they love. That's the difference. How the hell do you nerd out over TikTok?
Okay, first of all, please stop screaming at me.
Nerdy is being used way too loosely now. You can't be nerdy over a cookie.
Get in the fucking car, Morty! You leave my brother alone! Get out of here! Get in the car!
Look, she's not wrong, okay? Again, she's actually right. I agree with her. How do you nerd out on a cookie? But the thing is, again, you're arguing with a straw man because the basis of this critique is a post by a fan page for a teenage influencer that got like 20,000 views on TikTok. And
True.
this happens all the time on the internet. Just like one obscure post being taken from the ether and like being made to be this huge discussion that we need to have. Again, a 10-year-old probably made that post. They didn't even know what the word nerd meant. And to a child, and you know, frankly, some adults too, but that's a discussion for a different time, crumble cookies is something they're super passionate about. People will show up and wait in line every single week for the latest disc of diabetes that they're pumping out of the factory. I think it's dumb, but I can understand how you could make it out to be a hobby if you're that deep into the game. Like if you're making TikToks every single week about your
I
crumble
suppose
cookies that
so,
you're
yeah.
reviewing, like at a certain point, yeah, I mean, it kind of becomes a hobby, doesn't it? I hear all the criticism. Again, I do, and I don't disagree, but it's just, there's something that smacks of like, I'm so different. Dog, I get it, okay? They buy shit from mega corporations because they're NPCs. You buy shit from mega corporations because you're genuinely into Harry Potter. Congratulations. We'll put your award in the mail.
Merchandise, Morty. Your only purpose in life is to buy and consume merchandise, and you did it. You went into a store, an actual honest-to-God store, and you bought something. You didn't ask questions or raise ethical complaints. You just looked straight into the bleeding jaws of capitalism and said, yes, Daddy, please.
At the end of the day, I agree that buying
That's what I gotta do every day, bro.
things is not a hobby, nor is there anything
I hate
nerdy
it.
about it. But if we're being honest, a lot of quote nerdy hobbies do require consumption. They require buying stuff. And going back to where this whole trend started, it was in the vein of media interests where you definitely buy things like Pokemon cards or Beyblades. So I don't see how something like The Summer I Turned Pretty is not in line with that. You can definitely nerd out, again, in the Gen Z definition of the word, on how much Conrad really just needs to download Hinge. Let's not act like half of you are sitting around nerding out over classical music or Greek architecture, okay? So I don't understand why we need to litigate what is nerdy and what is not.
But it's crazy because I saw one and the girl put down her geek bar. The addiction you have, like, that's not a hobby. Like, I fear that's just your addiction.
Ridiculous. Having an addiction is
There are some people that turn vaping into hobby, though.
not a hobby. I mean, how offensive is that? You can't even abuse substances anymore without the gatekeepers coming out from over the horizon. What do you mean addiction is not a hobby? I have several friends who would disagree with that. I got friends with drinking problems, and I got friends who got no problem drinking at all. All right, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. My girl just broke up with me.
Wait, isn't that a country song?
to go nerd out with a fifth of vodka. If the hospital calls you tomorrow morning, just know it's because I was nerding out all night last
I nerded out with a fifth of vodka. You dare me to drive? You know that song by Phil Collins, The Air of the Night, about that guy who could have saved that other guy from drowning but didn't?
night. All right, I'm being sarcastic, but like, of course vaping is not a hobby. Okay, who is saying vaping is a hobby? Oh, let me guess. It was another singular rage bait TikTok post that got 800 likes from a girl who exclusively makes rage bait posts. But thankfully, I'm becoming Italian by the minute here. Thankfully, nobody could possibly fall for this.
But I wouldn't exactly put a pack of Winnie Blues or a pack of Marlboros on a nerd out TikTok. Vaping isn't an interest, nor is it a hobby. Have we all just collectively lost our f***ing minds?
Have we all just collectively lost our minds? Have we all, as YouTubers, just given up on doing like the most cursory amount of research?
But at the end of the day, how can you confidently defend people, including free?
Wait, is this? That's just a mansion? Is that what that's supposed to? There's just a mansion? Okay.
Vapes in their posts.
It's bait, y'all. Oh my god, it's bait. It's bait. This girl is making posts about sleeping with her boyfriend's brother. For the love of God, she has 5 posts, and they are all rage bait. Listen, at the end of the day, is anybody harmed by this? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. But your time as viewers is being wasted on topics that are not real. Straight up. On discourse that is completely manufactured because it packages well as a thumbnail and title. I bet you clicked on this video expecting a closer look at the nerd out trend, and instead you got this. A mild crash out about how you can essentially pull 10 TikToks together, or screenshots of TikToks at this point, with no context whatsoever, create any narrative you want, and it will fly for about 20 minutes worth of content. And yeah, does it matter? No. But at a certain point,
I got 30 minutes of content so far. But yeah.
On TikTok trends is becoming the worst game of telephone ever concocted. You're getting inaccurate information from people on YouTube on what's going on TikTok via screenshots from Twitter. And again, TikTok itself is an incredibly poor reflection of reality to begin with. And am I part of the problem? That's besides the
Wait, isn't this the Club Penguin Pizza Parlor theme song?
point. I'm trying. I'm not saying I'm batting 1,000 here, but you know, at least I'm not taking like 5 TikToks, 3 of which are rage bait, and you know, coming here to tell you that, you know, Gen Z thinks vaping is a hobby and Lululemon is for nerds. What? Like another one of the main TikToks that gets referenced.
Just called overconsumption, and that is not a personality trait.
Bro, she put the nerds as part of the nerd out trend. And extra gum.
This post tells me nothing about you or what you like. It just tells me what you spend your money on and the trends that you consume.
Was made from an original video that, according to reverse image search, was at least 2 years old. Like, some of these rage bait TikToks are literally not even—
Wait, hold on. Pretty babes on TikTok. Yeah. Nike Pros. White girls. Feet. Oh. What does our world come to?
Was at least 2 years old. Like, some of these rage bait TikToks are literally not even being made by the girl on the post. They're being made by God knows who. And again, this comes from a place of love. Like, there's plenty of TikTokers out the wazoo pushing the same narrative about brain rot Zoomers thinking Target is a hobby. But I have little to no respect for TikTokers. YouTubers are supposed to be better. I'm actually rooting for YouTubers, okay? Versus TikTokers, I hope you all fail. The reality is there were thousands of posts on the nerd out trend, and 99.99% of them were doing it quote unquote correctly. In terms of the intro 9.99.
Why do people keep putting Maze Runner? Like, are you talking about the book or the movie?
Percent of them were doing it.
Jurassic Park. Okay. Wolverine. The Sims. Animal Crossing. Star Wars. Fucking The stars from Mario. It's not even Mario. It's just the stars? Okay. Oshawott. What the fuck is this?
Quote unquote correctly. In terms of the interests being displayed on screen are things we would consider traditionally nerdy. This is
I feel like I've missed out on the point of this video because I keep judging people. I keep judging people on how nerdy their actual thing is that they're talking about.
burger. That's my point. So shout out to everybody both nerd maxing and normie maxing. I really don't give a I got time for both, for Star Wars and Legos, and aloe and matcha. That's the dope thing about living your life, not according to what some asshole on the algorithm thinks. Who cares about being a nerd or what the definition of a nerd is? Just live your life.
Nah,
okay?
this was a W video. Holy shit. I gotta go get my laundry. Like and subscribe to his channel. Give me a like and subscribe too. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I gotta go get my laundry, bruh. Alright. Hello. I'm back. Shit. Everything just fell off my desk, bruh. Really? I'm out of breath because I rushed to get this shit done to come back as soon as possible. Oh, fuck. Am I still recording? Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. I'll see y'all later.